Happy New Year. A new year has kicked off with new killings by militant extremists. 12 people shot dead and 11 injured in a French office. 2 French-Algerian brothers are being hunted as we speak. Is free speech now a dangerous thing to do? Plus, who will you be voting for in the UK at the general election in 4 months' time? UKIP are in tonight telling you why you should vote for them. You're watching Real Talk. Happy New Year. Welcome back to Real Talk 2015. You'll meet the panel in just a moment, and we've got a UKIP spokesman, Winston McKenzie, in the studio. But this is how you contact us. If you want to make a comment on any of the issues that we're talking about today, you can phone 0207 819 6460. You can email us realtalk@otv.co.uk or send us a tweet at OTV, because just 8 days into the new year and already we are talking about death. A militant massacre to talk about over in Paris. 12 journalists at a satirical magazine, Charlie Hebdo, were murdered in response to cartoons which had been published over 4 years ago. Here is the worldwide demonstration starting in France. The controversial media outlet had been firebombed a few years back, but yesterday extremists carried out the threat to get revenge. Here are just some of the staff that lost their lives at Charlie Hebdo. It was an attack against free speech, is what some people are saying, leaving 12 dead, 11 seriously injured. At this point in time, the main suspects are 2 Algerian brothers. Their names are Saïd and Sharif Kouachi. They are being hunted down in northern France after robbing a petrol station this morning. And in another unrelated incident, a female French officer was shot dead in southern Paris. Let's speak to our panel and introduce them. We have UKIP representative and former boxer, Winston McKenzie. Hello, Winston.
Hello. Hello.
Always
good to see you again.
Good to see you.
You're not getting any older. You look beautiful.
Thank you. Less than the flattery. We're talking serious issues today. We've got Ava Vidal, the comedian and writer as well. And we've got Dr. Bob Gill, GP, and also from the NHA party, the National Health Action Party.
That's right.
OK. They've got plenty to say. What have you got to say? Is there a limit to freedom of speech? Are there certain things we shouldn't joke about, like religion? 0207 819 6460. Winston, what do you think?
Well, you know, we shouldn't joke about religion. Should we? Shouldn't we? We've done it for centuries. You know, satire is satire. No, I don't believe we should go over the top. We shouldn't directly, you know, poke fun at people's religion, but occasionally you'll get a newspaper or a magazine, print a little article. But now I'm afraid we've got a situation whereby, you know, these terrible crimes have been committed and everyone's taken to the streets. And we're looking at murder now. And it doesn't look like stopping, does it, Trish?
No.
You know, it's now, you know, spread, and it's spreading like a virus into all corners of France.
OK.
And people are panicking, man.
OK, well, we'll talk
they're
about...
getting scared.
We'll get more from you, and particularly what your leader, Nigel Farage, has come out today to say about...
The governor.
Yeah, the governor.
Yeah, the governor.
Ava, what do we think? First, obviously, we offer our sincere condolences to the families affected by the 12 massacred on Wednesday. But, you know, you're a comedian.
Yeah.
Are there some jokes that just aren't funny, religious jokes?
I think that if what you're saying is based on fact, or you've done your research, if your whole joke is, oh gosh, look at those Muslims with their rucksacks blowing people up, I mean, that's not even intelligent. You're making a joke. You're coming from an ignorant place. I think that basically, if it's going to be satire, which is what this magazine, I think, look, it's very easy to condemn this magazine for what they did, which I do, because I think that it was awful. You can condemn the magazine and also condemn the fact that they have been killed. It doesn't mean that you support the killings, because I don't. Obviously, no human being would. But at the end of the day, a lot of Muslim people are talking about freedom of speech and freedom, you know, freedom of expression, yet they're firebombing mosques in response to this. How does that make any sense?
OK. Well, tell us what you think. We'd love to hear from you. Real talk at otv.co.uk. Dr. Gill, are there certain things that are just not funny? They're just no-go areas. Charlie Hebdo released satirical images about the Prophet Muhammad, which would offend some Muslims.
I think it depends on the intent of your humour. If you want to challenge power, as Ava said earlier, then fair enough. But if you're trying to demonise and make the lives of people in minorities and the powerless worse, then you're picking on the wrong target, really. I'm not familiar with the content of this magazine's work, but from what I've heard, it's quite offensive stuff. And my reaction to that is I don't buy the magazine. But nobody in their right mind can condone what these extremists have done. And we need to, you know, wait and see what the outcome is of investigations before we start condemning people. But I think they've done the Muslim community a great disservice because this is being exploited by people like Nigel Farage to make a political point.
You're wrong there. Nigel hasn't exploited it. Tell me how you think he's
used this horrendous attack to start...
Let him speak.
Let me finish.
Winston, let him speak.
He's used this attack to demonise multiculturalism.
In what way? No, listen,
well, that was his statement today.
Doctor, you're going on, you give me all these statements, and you're not giving me anything specific.
OK, well, I'll give you something
He's used
specific.
all these...
OK,
just
Winston,
1 second, Ava. I'm just talking to this guy.
Let's see something. Well, let's...
the governor,
but
mate.
Winston,
Give me proper stuff.
Winston, I'll give you proper stuff. Here's what Nigel Farage said today. Let's just see. He's got the quote. Here he is. We've got people living in these countries holding our passports who hate us. Luckily, their numbers are small. If we carry on, he talks about this really... It does make one question the whole really gross attempt at multiculturalism. That is what your leader said today.
Let's go through the first part. Can we get that up again? We've got people living in these countries holding our passport
who hate us.
And there are people living in this country who absolutely hate us. Right? There are people living in this country who hate their own creed, their own colour, their own people. Now, what...
Sorry, can you be more specific now? Because you're asking for specifics. Who hates
who? I'm not... Listen, if you've lived and experienced anything in life, you'll know that racism and multiculturalism is not working today.
I'm sorry,
it's
but
not working today.
For you to tell me, as a woman who's living here, black woman living here,
I've started.
Winston, it's a debate show. You must allow her to come
but I'm trying to finish.
Be quick, please.
Yeah. If you're going to... There are people living in this country who absolutely hate this country, and they'll admit to it. Whatever colour or creed you may be, there are people living here who absolutely abhor people in this country. OK? So let's not... That's a fact. OK,
let's concentrate on let's concentrate what Nigel Farage says. He says this really questions the whole really gross attempt at encourage division, the gross policy of multiculturalism. That's what he said. Ava, is he wrong?
He's absolutely wrong. I mean, at the end of the day, this is just must be so exciting for him to have something like this happen.
No,
so he can push his... Of course I'm condemning him, actually. And the fact that you are sitting there as a black man, you are actually championing this man, you actually should be ashamed of yourself, to be quite honest.
Why should I be ashamed?
You should be ashamed of yourself.
I'm not looking at the reality.
I do know what reality is. You're not even making sense. You give me some cold hard facts.
Winston, I must ask you, we cannot hear if you're all shouting. You've said your piece, you need to let Ava and Bob respond to it.
But I like to hear the truth.
Yes,
I am telling the absolute truth.
Could you be more succinct, Ava, to get to your point? Right, come on, sorry.
Succinct. Thank you. Sorry. I can't remember exactly what I was...
OK, Bob.
Right.
To use this atrocity to make a political capital, to push your political agenda, is absolutely disgusting.
Yeah, but in what way, please, sir?
Let him explain.
In what way?
Let him explain.
Would you please explain?
I'm surprised that I have to explain this to you.
Well, come on, you're the educated doctor. Let me hear you.
Well, Winston, if you allow me to finish a sentence, I'd appreciate it. To use a tragedy where people have been shot because they produce offensive cartoons to push something that attacks multiculturalism is political opportunism. That's what it boils down to.
They're doing that themselves. What are you talking about?
He's a political leader. He needs to be more responsible.
The media are doing that themselves. Every political party has commented on the atrocities.
He's a political leader. He has some responsibilities to the public, not to create more division and pour.
Can I just jump in?
Winston,
Winston, do you not agree that perhaps Nigel Farage should have waited a couple of days before saying that this raises the whole issue of multiculturalism not working? Should he have probably just waited maybe till Monday?
Well,
would that not have been better, Winston?
Come on. These people, the media, have hunted, and when you're a leader, they've hunted you down, they look for you to say anything that's controversial. They've obviously hunted down the governor, had a word with him boxed him in the corner, and
Ava's shaking her head. Ava's shaking her head.
Good for you. Good for you. I hope you're very proud of yourself. At the end of the day, Nigel Farage has used it to push his own agenda, but funnily enough, it's a fact. He has.
No, in your opinion.
And also, it's a fact. You can see it right up there. Yeah, he has done that. Also, it's funny that he seems to find it so offensive and he's so for freedom of speech, but yet when a group of students made a little game called UKIP and they had someone called Nigel Farage kicking immigrants off the side of a mountain, he was like, no, freedom of speech has gone too far, this is not funny.
You mentioned to Winston, that Winston should be ashamed as a black man.
Why should I?
Why should Winston
because he's supporting a party that demonised the lives of black people, of immigrants. And quite frankly, I actually think that Winston is actually their secret weapon, because if anybody sees and hears Winston, probably UKIP are pushing him forward in the hope that people will see him, in the hope that people will see you and go, actually, yeah, no more immigration, please don't let any more of it.
OK, well, as you can see, thank you, Winston. As you can see, this is real talk.
She's out of order.
No, she's not.
Order.
Right, OK, right, Winston.
She has a name.
Right, Ava has a name. Now, as you can see, this is real talk. It is getting very... Winston, we'll have to ask you to leave. Winston.
Embarrassing.
Right. Time for a break. But coming up, who will you be voting for in 4 months' time? Will it be UKIP or will it be Bob Gill's party, which is the NHA, the National Health Action Party? We will have order when we come back. Do give us a call, 0207 819 6460. Has freedom of speech gone mad? And who are you going to be voting for? You're watching Real Talk.